What are the three most common challenges that almost every expert, entrepreneur, business owner, professional like you is struggling with? And of course, what can you do about them? Welcome back to Energy for Experts at ravishingroute.com, where you learn how to maximize the quality of your productivity, life, and happiness by mastering your health. And a little while back, well, when I was in New York, I've been talking to quite some experts. And what I noticed was how in every single conversation, the following three challenges came up. It was very typical. So I thought it can be really useful for us to go over those challenges here with you. And I will ask you a question so you can tap into what's going on for yourself to see where you're at this moment or what would be possible if. So let's start with the first challenge, and it was the same one. And it was the first one that hit into the conversation every time, and it was energy. All these experts were feeling drained from energy or very low on energy, or they were talking to me about how difficult it is becoming, more and more difficult it has become to get through the day without energy dips, without picking themselves up every time with lots of coffee and sweets. And you hear the language, don't you? Get through the day. That's not feeling energized. So that can be something that you can do differently. Um, the one thing that I noticed when I was talking to female entrepreneurs was this one, and that really touched my heart as a woman and a mother. It was when I come home, my second job starts. And I thought, oh, this is so touching, this is so terrible. Because when you are coming home from work and you experience your personal life, the life that you share with your loved ones, the things that you do for yourself as a second job, something's not right. You're not in alignment. Your life and work are not in alignment anymore. And life, work, and dreams are not in alignment anymore. Something has to happen. And I just want to make you aware of this because I know out of personal experience when I was back there in that situation in my previous life, when I came home after a long day of work and I thought, oh my God, now my second job starts. That's not a good sign. And so I want to ask you the first question here. Actually, it's more a sentence that I want you to fill in the blank. If I had more energy, what I would, and you fill in the blank. So if I had more energy, I would. What would you do with more energy? Would it still feel like a drain or a second job if you would come home and you're gonna play with your children? Or how would it feel to have fun in the kitchen instead of feeling as if it's another chore to take care of? Or is it core? I don't know. But anyway, you get the picture. Or how would it feel if you could spend quality time with your partner or with yourself and feeling really good about that, not experiencing that as a second job? The second challenge that came up, and specifically in a conversation I had with an IT consultant, was that he said literally, like, there's always some kind of a fire to put out. There's always some kind of um, a deadline to catch up with, or a CEO flipping out, or an email server going down. Always a deadline going on. And that was something he experienced as very, very stressful in his life, always having to run against the deadlines. Very understandable. That's what we all do, oftentimes, mostly in our business. We have deadlines we want to reach. And so, yeah, it's stressful. Now, I'm not talking about the stress of excitement, because that's a good kind of stress. I'm not talking about the excitement that you experience when you're doing a new project and you're really into that project, or you're excited about starting a new program. that you have to work for and is delivering some stress. I'm not talking about that kind of stress. I'm really talking about the stress that is distressful because it's claiming us, it's taxing your body, it's taxing the way you think and feel, that kind of stress. And the question that this IT consultant asked me was, how do you deal with those stressors in the heat, in the middle of the heat? Um, what do you do, or how do you balance your life while you're dealing with those kind of stressors? What do you do? And that was a very interesting question. So I have a question for you now. What would you do differently if you would not feel stressed out? How would your life look like? I just want to answer that question for yourself, okay? The third um, challenge, struggle that came up was, and I want to give you the context of where that was coming from, specifically because it was touching me so deeply. Um, it's anxiety and depression. I was talking to a female entrepreneur who is, well, she worked at Wall Street for 11 years, so she knows about stress. And now she's working for a huge firm company in New York, combining that with her own business. And we were talking actually about the female entrepreneurs, um, and her female colleagues. And she said at some point that she experienced so much anxiety in those women. And then she told me, almost all my female colleagues are on depressants, because they want to keep the edge off. They can't get through their day without those antidepressants. They can't step up their game, keep up with the rhythm of their work when they're not on these pills. And I must say, I was shocked to hear that. Um, so anxiety and depression, it's something that I meet a lot. I have to deal with a lot with my clients as well. The amount of anxiety they experience, and it's when the anxiety around, am I good enough? Am I delivering the quality in my work that I want to deliver? Or that doubt that they get, just feeling not good enough. And that creates a lot of anxiety. It creates low self-esteem, insecurity, and they lack the self-confidence to step up and to make themselves visible, and to feel good about themselves as they are. So the third question I want to address to you is, what would you do more of if you had more self-confidence, if you would feel really great about your body, if you would feel good about yourself as a person? What would you do more, or what would you do differently in your life if you had that kind of self-confidence? So these are my three thoughts for you I want to leave you with. But of course, write me with your comments or comment here below. But if it's too private, write me at maryclaire@ravishingraw.com. Now, what can you do about those challenges? And that is what I want to discuss with you one-on-one. So how can you do this? Um, Book some time with me. 30 minutes of private time. That's what I'm offering you, free of charge, no strings attached. But I would love talking about those three challenges or other challenges that you may experience and that are slowing you down, and or that are making you feel as if you're not living fully or working and living under your full potential. Let's talk about that. So I'm inviting you to a coffee chat or a tea chat. In my case, I'm drinking tea, but I would like to invite you to go to my website, ravishingraw.com, book your 30 minutes of private time with me over Skype, and we'll talk very soon. You can also reach me at marieclaire@ravishingraa.com. So let's do this and have a tea chat, a little break where we can discuss your challenges. Cheers.